Hey guys, I just want to preface this. So I was streaming earlier, and for whatever for whatever reason, uh, I I guess Bill Maher just wanted to butt in, and that caused some technical difficulties. Um, and so I apologize for that, and so I have to restart the stream. Um, and so this is uh this is the second stream basically. So um, let me just start all over. Welcome back, guys, to the stream. Um, I know that the past week I didn't stream a lot. I, in fact, only streamed once, and I had mentioned in that previous stream that the previous week before that was pretty crazy, and last week was even crazier, and it's a good crazy, a really good crazy. In fact, probably one of the best weeks of my life. And I just want to say, I'm just still processing everything, and it's been one heck of a journey. Uh, the reason that I started this channel and started streaming networking, uh, IT, cybersecurity content was to build a portfolio to be able to show future employers, like I know this stuff, right? And I was just trying to think of out of the box. And if you guys can guess, um, what the crazy was all about, um, I got a job, and not just a job. It's like the dream job, um, life-changing opportunity for me. Um, I'm just speechless, and um, it's been one heck of a journey for me. But this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, right? Like I see it as like that this past year and a half of like grinding and studying and job searching. It was like the tutorial of a brand new RPG game, right? You're like learning the controls and stuff. And now that I got this job, the the real game has begun, right? This is the real game, and now I'm out here trying to gain experience and level up. You feel me? And like I said, this is a dream job. This is a life-changing opportunity for me. This gig is there's a lot of um I could see a lot of growth potential here in this gig, and I really want to do well. You guys know me that I'm like a pretty extreme personality, right? Like I go full sicko mode with something, right? And with that being said, because I have this job and I want to focus on this job and do really well and grow and just kick butt, um, my output in terms of content with streaming is probably going to dwindle. I know that I used to stream like 2 to 3 times a week, but that's probably going to cut down to one time a week. And I'm going to make a commitment and try my best and put all my effort into putting out content at least once a week. Um, I'm just been trying to come up with a plan, come up with a strategy to think how am I going to do this, because especially with the networking course, having that 1 week gap can be pretty. I mean, it having that gap and discontinue can really hinder learning. So uh, I'm trying to navigate this, see what I can do. Um, trying to come up with a plan to give you all um, the content and quality that you all deserve. But with that being said, I thought I'd change it up a little bit, talk about a little bit of cybersecurity, a little bit of ethical hacking, and as you can tell by the title, we're talking about cookies, and not the cookies you can eat, not those good old chocolate chip cookies. We're talking about cookies on the web, right? And we're going to be going through Try Hack Me, Advent of Cyber, um, day two. And I'm basically going to do the walkthrough for this lab. Um, John Hammond, okay? If you guys don't know who John Hammond is, this guy is like the GOAT, okay? He's legit the GOAT of cybersecurity, man. Um, let me see if I type in John Hammond, he'll pull. Yeah, man. Uh, okay, that's not John Hammond. That's not the John Hammond I'm talking about. I'm talking about this dude right here. Okay, that's so this is the individual that I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get his YouTube channel. There you go. Here you go. So this is the guy. He's the man. He's the GOAT, John Hammond. Um, even though I've never met this dude in my life, this is somebody that I can say is like a mentor to me. Um, Try to watch as many videos of his. There's another guy named Hackersploit, um, David Bombal, Network Chuck. All these guys are like the goats. Um, but yeah, John Hammond has a walkthrough video of this lab, and I'm 100% certain his walkthrough will be much, much better than mine. I just wanted to do this walkthrough myself because I thought it'd be a good change, and it's a little fun, and we get to do a little bit of ethical hacking. So let's get right to it. So today, let's read the story. McSkitty needs to check if any other employee elves have left, been affected by Grinch Industries attack, but the system that holds the employee information had been hacked. Can you hack them back to determine if other teams in the Best Festival company have been affected? So today's learning objectives, we're going to learn the underlying technology of web servers and how the web communicates, and understand what cookies are and their purpose, and um, the cool part is we're going to learn how to manipulate and manage these cookies. So let's get right into it. So the underlying technology of web servers and how the web communicates. That's going to be this bad boy, girl, they, we, I don't know, it. Okay, HTTP and S, right? Depending on if you're on a secured connection or not. Um, So let's get right into it. For your computer and a web server, okay, and remember guys, a web server is just another computer somewhere out in the world, right? So for your computer and a web server to communicate with each other, an intermediary protocol is required. This is where HTTP steps in. This is where and HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That is a layer 7 protocol, application layer protocol. Um, and this is basically this is the middleman, right? In order for me to communicate with this try hack me web server, uh, I need someone to middleman for me, and this is essentially HTTP is the middleman. This is the protocol that's going to help me establish um, communication with another web server. And it's a client server protocol, right? Client server protocol that provides communication between a client and a web server. The HTTP requests are similar to a standard TCP network request. However, HTTP adds specific headers to the request to identify the protocol and other information. So when an HTTP request is crafted, the method and target header will always be included. So these two, the method and the target, those two will always be included. Okay? And the target header will specify what to retrieve from the server, and the method header will specify how. So the method can be either a get, meaning you're trying to retrieve information, or it can be a post, like you're trying to set, send information, or maybe you're trying to upload a picture or something. Um, you're posting that, right? Getting is like you're retrieving, and posting is you're sending. And in this example right here, you can see this is the method. So in this example, get, we're getting something from the host, tryhackme.com, and the user agent, basically, this is the browser, right? Uh, the browser Firefox. So if you're on the Chrome, Google Chrome, I think it would say Chrome. I'm not too entirely sure. If you're on a different browser, like I'm on Brave, so I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure uh, how Brave would look like, um, but yeah. So here's our example. So we're using the get method, and once the server receives a request, it will send back a response, including any requested content if successful, and a status code. The status code is used to tell the client browser how the web server interpreted the request. The most common successful status code is HTTP 200. So, um, server status code. So there's status codes for 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. 200 being the most common. 100 is usually information. It's going to be not usually. It's informational. 300 is redirection, meaning it's going to send you to a different site. 400 is client error, meaning there's something wrong on the client side, on my side. And then 500, if you get a 500 code, that's a server error, right? So so for example, um, if you go on a website and you get a 400 error code, the server is working properly. It's something on your end. So maybe like a simple, uh, you know, clicking a different link, maybe. To give you an example, let me just give you like, so when I type in LinkedIn, I get this page doesn't exist, this error, right? And that's most likely a 400 client error. That's probably on me, right? And that always happens whenever I go on LinkedIn. Um, yeah. So I don't know why, but I always get that client error side. Anyways, so the most common is this 200 code, right? So when this is an example of a server replying, right? And so HTTP 200, okay, that's like yes, successful. Here's the information, right? So we sent this GET request to TryHackMe. It's an Nginx server. It's running on an Nginx server. Here's the date, content type, text, HTML, and then this is the data, the requested content that we requested, right? And it's an HTML text file. So kind of to break it down, we're starting this text HTML file with this I guess bracket. I'm not like an HTML expert, so I'm not entirely sure what you would call this, but this is basically this is signifying the beginning. And then you can see right here, you see this slash. The difference is this slash. This is the end, right? So we're beginning this HTML text right here, and then we're going to end it here. And then this is the head, right? So when we type in the head, imagine this is like the type, like the upper portion, right? Um, this and this is the title, Advent of Cyber, and we end the title. So we begin the title, and then here's the title name, Advent of Cyber, and then we end it, and then we end the header, right? And then here's the body. Welcome to the Advent of Cyber, and we end the body, and then we end the HTML text. So I can actually imagine what this would look like. A very, very, very basic. Um, if this is all I had, right? If this is all that we got, this is like a really, really basic website, right? There's literally just a header portion, like up here, that says Advent of Cyber, and then a body that's like literally one line that says Welcome to Advent of Cyber, and then that's it, right? It's just a. I can imagine this being a like a white page website with just literally two lines of text that says Advent of Cyber, Welcome to Advent of Cyber. So very basic website. But the point is that I digress. The point was is that this is just a server response, and this is what a client request would look like, right? Um, so yeah, let's move on. The protocol itself is only one small piece of the puzzle. Once the content is retrieved from the web server, your browser needs a way to interpret and render the information sent. Web applications are commonly formatted in hypertext markup language, rendered and styled in CSS. JavaScript is also commonly used to provide additional functionality. Um, in today's web environment, the use of web frameworks has significantly increased in popularity. Most modern web applications use many web frameworks and other web solutions that end user does not see or interact with. So obviously that we as clients, we as users, we're not going to see like the back end of the website, right? Like that's not meant for us, right? And so um, there's a lot of like this website itself, right? Like this picture itself, I had to send a request to get this image. Same thing with this cookie. Same thing with this. That there, I had to send requests to get this image, right? And in the back end, there's something providing and pushing that out to us, and we don't see that. We're not going to see that, and that's a good thing, right? We as clients should not be able to see that. If we were, then you can imagine a lot of bad people doing some bad things with that. Um, and if you want to learn more about HTTP requests, method headers, check out the Web Fundamental Room. Um, and this is a really, really good, and it's a free room. So if you don't have a Try Hack Me subscription, this is a free room. Um, and you can learn more about websites. And it's a short one too, but super, super useful, right? And you get to do a little mini CTF at the end. So that's really neat. Now let's get to what we came for, right? And that's cookies. We came for the cookies. We came for the cookies. So HTTP is a stateless protocol. When you send a request to a web server, the server cannot distinguish your request from someone else's request. So yeah, HTTP is a stateless protocol, meaning there's like it's no connections is made, right? Like, not to say that no connections is made. It's just the server's dumb. Servers are dumb and they don't know um, how to differentiate you from someone else, right? And so, how do we solve this? How do we solve this? Well, we solve this with cookies, right? So the web server is going to solve this and identify you by giving you by well, first of all, creating and giving you a cookie so that we can manage a stateful session between me and the web server, right? So every time I connect to an HTTP website, I'm going to send this initial request, right? In this initial request, it's a login username and password, and the server is going to respond by giving me a cookie, and more specifically, um, a session cookie, right? And I guess to define what cookies are tiny pieces of metadata locally stored on your computer that are sent to the server when you make a request, right? So um, they can be assigned any name, any value by this web server. I'm not too entirely sure how the algorithms work in terms of how the server decides to come up with a cookie, but we're going to be focusing on authentication cookies. So this initial request, post, login, username, um, this is our request. And the server's like, okay, yeah, I got you. Now here's a cookie. And this cookie, inside this cookie is going to have like unique information just for us. So that when we send a second so when we send out another request, we send it with the cookie and the server knows, oh yeah, I know who you are because I see this cookie and I know who this cookie belongs to, and that's you, whoever you are as a client. And and then we see that it sends a HTTP 200 successful message, and they got into the admin portal. Okay, and this part they literally just talked about this portion that I just went through. Um, but once the cookie is assigned, as long as the cookie stays locally stored in your browser, all future GET requests will be automatically sent with the cookie to identify you and your access level. So, like, for example, when you close your browser, right, and you open it up, and you like when you close your browser and you open and you had tabs open, right? And you reopen the browser and all those tabs reopen and you're back into your session. It's because of the locally stored cache, right? Your cookies are stored in your browser, and so when you clear your cache, your cookies, and you try to log in, it's not going to remember you, right? And so this is part of the remember me kind of. It's kind of like remember me, right? Um, Another thing to know is that once the server gets your GET request and cookie, it will locate and deserialize your session. So I like to think of cookie and this deserialize. Like when I think of cookies, I think of like the. You guys ever had the um, those what do you call those things, man? What is it? Cookie cereal? Man, this was the bomb when I was a kid. Okay, that's not it. Cookie crisps. Yeah, cookie crisps. Oh man, these were the bomb, dude. Cookie crisps. These like were the bomb when I was a kid. So when I think of cookies, I think of the cereal, cookie cereal, and deserialize. Like I just try to think of it that way, right? A little corny, maybe, but that just helps me remember cookies, and then it will locate and deserialize your session. And the deserialization is the process of taking a data format such as JSON and rebuilding it as an object. Um, if successful, the web server will reply to your request with a 200 response. Okay, so there are 11 components to a cookie, right? And thank God we as penetration testers, attackers, or red teamers, or whatever, we only need to know two things, okay? Everyone else, you know, blue teamers, everyone else, I'm not too sure. I mean, if you're networking and all that, you probably got to remember all of this stuff. Um, Sorry, I'm just the guy that's just trying to become a penetration tester, and so for me, if all I need to know are name and value, that's cool with me. And then, yeah, as attackers, we only need to remember name and value. And the name is the unique cookie identifier, such as the session ID, and the value is the actual data within the cookie itself. Um, yeah, and we can um, we can manipulate, and this is the final portion, the final objective, right? Is these cookies we can actually manipulate these cookies, right? And you can do so by pushing and see if you push the F12 or your Control Shift I, you'll see, and I'm using the Brave browser. Um, and if you go to Application, so if you go to uh, Application, and I'm sure that like, okay, for Firefox it's Application, Chrome it's like the cookies drop down on the left side. Okay, so they give you more they give you like precise instructions on a different if you're on Firefox, but I'm on Brave. And it's going to be under the application cookies and try hack me. Here's try hack me, and here's all my cookie. Here's all the cookies that are available for this session with try hack me. And cookies values may seem random at first, however, they often have an encoded value or meaning behind them that can be decoded to a non-arbitrary value, such as a JavaScript object. From an attacker's perspective, you can decode the cookie value to identify the underlying object. Once you have identified the underlying object, you can modify them to what you want. To use the cookie, you will need to encode it back to the original encoding and replace the cookie value. Below is an example of a decoded cookie value. So this is this once was this random gibberish value. This had like a gibberish random value, and this is the decoded value of that cookie. The first name, last name, age, and eye color. Cool. Below is a summary of how cookie values could be manipulated. Obtain a cookie value from registering or signing up for an account, which is what we're going to do. Um, Decode the cookie value. We will also do that with a pretty cool tool called CyberChef. Identify the object notation or structure of the cookie. Change the parameters, and which we will. We're going to do all of this, right? We're going to change the parameters of the cookie. Um, we're going to re-encode the cookie with a different value, and you'll see that that value will be is going to be a user with higher privileges, and then action the cookie. Basically, send the cookie with the new value, and um, I think it'd be better if we just got right into it, right? So here we go. They want us to go to this website, Best Festival Monitoring. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off because it's kind of distracting. Here we go. Email, password, login, now register, sign up. So let's see. Register an account and uh, verify the cookies using the developer tools in your browser. What is the name of the new cookie that was created for your account? So it's asking us to create a cookie. Um, so here we go. Uh, Name, let's just do Moses. Password, great password, right? Password one. Let's do password one because I know that's a great password. Everybody's passwords should be password one, right? Totally joking. Please do not do that. Please don't do that. Please. And an email, blah 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 at gmail.com, right? And we'll hit the create account, and I'm not gonna save that. And here we go. We got this cookie, and the name of the cookie, the session ID is a user authentication cookie. Here's the value. Let me see if I can spread this out. What is this right here? The domain. Sorry guys, I'm not a cookie expert. Path. This is the root. This is the beginning of the website. It's basically the root. Expire. Size. What is this? Um, okay. Yeah. I think. Actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? These are the 11. I'm sorry, guys. These are the 11 values of the cookie, right? So here we go. Name, value, and then everything else that we as attackers we don't have to worry about, right? So forget this, okay? Forget it. We don't care about this stuff. We just care about the name and the value. And uh-oh, you don't have permissions to register an account currently. Please contact an administrator for more assistance. Okay. Well, let's see. What is the name of the new cookie that was created for your account? That was user auth. What encoding type was used for the cookie value? Uh, so we're going to go to a website called CyberChef, right? And okay, that as you can tell, I've already done this, and it still remembers my session from before. Interesting. Maybe I should clear my cookies next time so that doesn't show the answer. So um, here is the cookie value, right? And um, you take this cookie value, right? And CyberChef is basically this super powerful tool that basically can encode and decode hashing and different kind of encoded information, right? Now, uh, we as attackers, the more you get used to this information, um, I guess like you'll get more familiar with it, so you'll know like from just looking at the data, like okay, this is in hexadecimal form, or this is in base 10 or base 64 or whatever, right? So for today's purpose, I'm just gonna ask you guys to trust me, take a leap of faith, and it's gonna be in hexadecimal. Um, And here we go. We're going to input the value. And here we go. Bam. So this encoded information said this. The best festival company is registered true. Username Moses. Okay. So this cookie value says this. Okay. And so that's the answer for the second portion, right? What's the encoding type? Um, And there's nothing wrong with taking hints, guys. So if you hit the hint, use CyberChef to decode the value. So go to CyberChef. And again, as learning, you probably went through, like for me, when I didn't watch the John Hammond walkthrough, I literally like drag and moved it along. And here's the thing, right? Um, as things get more complicated, um, people may encode it into a hexadecimal and then encode it again in a different format, right? Um, and so when it gets really advanced, like they could encode it in hexadecimal and maybe add a hashing algorithm to it, and then last but not least, they might even put a public key with it too, right? To make it super uh, non-readable, right? And this just makes a life for a hacker very difficult because because it's like layers, right? And then you have to like decode it, and it takes a long, as you can imagine, just trying to do it one by one, trying to figure it out. It's a pain process, right? Very painful process. Um, so that's why, as you get more familiarized with this kind of stuff, right? You can kind of start jumping like, oh yeah, this is hexadecimal, right? So what object format is the data of the cookie stored in? And that answer we read was in JSON. Manipulate the cookie and bypass the login portal. What is the value of the administrator cookie? Username equals admin. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually I'm going to first let me copy and paste this. Let me copy this. Sorry, let me copy this, delete it, and delete it, and let me delete this too. And I'm going to paste this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually alter this. Admin, right? So I typed in admin. And so what I'm now going to do is now because I know that it's in a hexadecimal, I'm going to put it in hexadecimal, and you can see that it's not doesn't look entirely the same. So what I'm going to do is no delimiters, none, and then bam, here we go. Now here's the cookie value. All right, so all I did was change my name from Moses to admin, and this is the new value of the cookie. Right, so if you did that step, copy that, paste it into here, And then now what we're going to do now is, you see this value? Uh, Maybe I have to right click it. Okay, yeah, right click it. I'm gonna edit it. Control Alt, delete, and then I'm gonna paste uh, my new cookie into there. Okay, I Control V'd it. There was no Control paste. There was no right click paste. So I'm gonna Control V, and now I'm gonna hit Enter. A refresh. I'm gonna refresh. Sorry, refresh, and that did not work. Sorry, guys. Okay, actually you have to refresh from there. So delete, Control V, edit the value. Bam. Let me put in uh, um, and then refresh, and that did not work. Mm, Sorry, guys. This should have worked. Edit the value, delete. And if I hit, well, should have worked with the, if I refreshed it. Um, hmm, Interesting. Let me see, Mozilla. Let me see if, I, that's interesting. Um, Bum. Sorry, guys. This was a little embarrassing, but, um, create an account. Bam. Didn't work. Do not save. I want to uh, edit this value, paste in the new value. Hmm. Did I? Username equals admin. Username equals admin. This is true. So what is not working? What is not working? Bu- 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 bum. Hmm. Give me one moment, guys. Sorry. I don't know why this is not working. Let's see. Gotta watch the master himself. Let's see. Sorry guys. Let's see. Okay, so I think I know what happened. Let's see. So, okay. So, went through the instructions. Um, this should work. So, okay. This should work. Hopefully. It's kind of I worked on this yesterday, so sorry guys. I should have been a little bit. I mean, this should have worked. Hmm. A little bit of a. We're in a bit of a pickle. Okay. What is going on here? So, change the name to. Hmm. Okay. Try it one more time. Sorry guys. So, take this out from hex. Uh, delete this. I'm gonna paste it. Okay. So, from hex. Okay. I'm gonna copy this. Take this out. Delete this. Paste this. This. And then if I edit this and then turn it into hex, take out the delimiters. This should be the cookie value that we want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the value, paste the value, um, delete this. Hmm. I'm actually trying to figure out what is going on. This should have worked. This should have worked. And I'm kind of failing to understand why it's not working. Yeah. So this is the right cookie. Um, huh. Um, interesting. That is so interesting that it is. I literally just did this the other day and it worked. Um, it just literally worked the other day. So I'm not too entirely sure why it's not working today, guys. I'm sorry. But this should have worked. Um, this should have worked. Hmm. Yeah, this should have worked. And um, when in doubt, you gotta use your best friend, the internet, right? So let's see what the goat of goats have to say. Geocentric skeptic. Hey, what's up? Ge- Geos. What's up, geocentric skeptic? How you doing? Um, what is going on? I'm not sure who geocentric skeptic is. Okay, but hey, how you doing? If you're still there, how you doing? Um, I'm doing great. Happy President's Day. Um, let's see what the goat has to say. Um, whoops. What does the goat have to say? Okay. Yes. All right, the goat has spoken. The goat has spoken. Blah, 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 blah. And what? Okay. So it weird. It finally accepted my cookie value. Um, so I don't know what the heck happened. I think that was like I don't want to say it was on Try Hack Me, but um, I did everything right. So I don't know why it took so long for us to get in. But yeah, that should have never happened. It should have immediately got us into this best festival monitoring dashboard. Um, and then we could see that the HR is down, and that was the second answer. And then what team environment has a network warning? That's the application. And yeah, so that should have been straightforward. I don't know why it didn't pan out that way, but it is what it is. And it is what it is. Yeah, so that was all I had for today. I know it was a pretty long one, but I hope you had fun learning about cookies and how you can manipulate them. Yeah, so please just do this on like legally owned. Like you, please don't do this on websites. You know that it's illegal to do that. Do it in a safe environment, right? But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys have a great week. And till next time, peace.